presentation and hands-on today is related to multi-VDU. Multi-VDU network services has to do with VNFs that contain more than one virtual machine and network services that contain more than one VNF potentially. So this is what we want to show you in this example. Well, what we are going to create is this VNF, which is called Hackfest Multi-VDU VNFD, and another copy of it inside a network service, which is called Hackfest Multi-VDU NSD. As you can see, there is this concept of connection points. In this case, these are external connection points that connect the VNF to the external world. And the external world is defined by the network service. So you also have the concept of virtual link. In this case, you have management network and data network. VNFs, both VNFs connect through the management virtual link using their management connection points, and to the data network or virtual link through the data connection points. The VNF inside, so each of these blocks here, is comprised by two virtual machines, which at the same time have, well, some characteristics like the image name, the flavor, and two interfaces. One interface is mapped to external connection point, which is what we see as a network service. And there is another internal connection point. So the second interface of each VDU is connected, connects the two VDUs through the concept of internal virtual link. So this is the kind of network connections that VNF vendors control inside their VNF packages. They can have as many links as they want, and those virtual links will reflect into new networks in the VIM, new virtual networks in the VIM. And there is these two external connection points, as I said before, map the two VDUs to the external world. I mean, external components that are not external to the VIM, but external to the VNF. So they are controlled by the network service, okay? So it's important for you to understand this concept of interfaces, which are present in any virtual machine, and the concept of mapping the interfaces either to external connection points, which will go to virtual links that reside at the network service, or to internal connection points, which will be used internally inside the VNF to interconnect multiple VDUs. The final picture that we have is a network service with two VNFs, each of the VNFs having two VDUs or two virtual machines. And we have virtual links that interconnect the VDUs together in both VNFs. And we have virtual links that interconnect the VNFs together in the network service. So what we are going to do different this time is we are going to compose the VNF from scratch using the graphical composer. So you will need to follow these steps that will take us to the final VNFs that we want to build and network service that we want to build. So we are building this from scratch using the tools of that OSM provides. So I'm going to follow those instructions myself. I think I did it already at some point, so I'm going to delete that. So I start from 0. I'm sorry, I have to delete the network service first. That refers to that VNF, and then I'm going to delete the VNF package. Okay, so instructions say in slide 7 that you can compose a VNF or NS graphically. In the VNF, you have VDUs, connection points, internal virtual links, and internal connection points. In the network service, you have VNFs, virtual links, and connection points, which are obviously external. So we are building. I think I moved VNF diagram. Okay, I'm going to delete that. And the first step is to click on the button that says compose a new VNF. So VNF packages, compose a new VNF. And we're going to put a name on it. For example, multi-VDU VNF. Great. Okay, we have this composer now. Great. Now it says that you reach the composer, and it gives you some hints on some tools that are not that obvious. For example, to create a link, you do Shift plus left click between elements. Okay, so okay, let's start with instructions to create a multi-VDU VNF. First, we have to create two VDUs, management VM and data VM, each with count 1, that's one VM, the name, management VM, data VM, the image that they are going to use, 0334 in both cases, and the ID, which is the same as the name. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly that. Drag and drop two VDUs. Drag one and drop two VDUs. Okay, we have two VDUs here. Now, if I click once, just once, on the VDU, I'm getting this menu to the right. That allows me to put a name to this, name and ID, the same, and the image 0034, and save. Okay, I have the first VM prepared. And now the second one is same image, 034, data VM, and save. Okay, I have my two VDUs. So the two VMs that will going to form my VNF. Perfect. Question? No, so far. Okay. So then it says edit the descriptor to add the flavor, because as you see here, there's just a few things, attributes that you can modify for, or set in a new VDU. The rest you have to do it still through the descriptor. So you see the descriptor here. In this edition, I have the YAML in a different format with these brackets. So I'm going to put the flavor in there. I'm going to copy the memory, the storage, and the CPU that it's going to have, and just edit the flavor in both machines. So remember to do it in both machines, otherwise one of the VDUs will be left without a flavor, and that's going to cause problems during instantiation, because it's not going to know how many resources to assign, right? So the only thing you need to do is paste this. Okay. Once you do that, update and show graph again. Okay, we have our VNF with the two VDUs and the flavor set in both VDUs. What's next? Create the connection points. Two connection points, and these are the external connection points because they say management and data. So I'm going to drag and drop them, and then we need to define the type as vport and management and data as the name, and then link them with the VDUs. Okay, I'm going to do that. So back to the composer, I drag and drop one connection point, then the second one, and just click once on each. So once to set the name, VNF management, save, and then the other one, VNF data, save. Okay, I have this. And now we're going to link the interface of the management and data to the respective connection points that these connection points are going to be exposed to the network service so that they connect to external networks. So the keys that I have to press for this is just shift and left click. So I select the connection point, press shift and left click on the destination. And same for data VM or connection point. I click on the connection point, shift plus left click. The left click occurs over the destination. There you go. So you have these two VDUs exposed with two external connection points. Okay. Step 3. Create an internal virtual link that will interconnect both VDUs. So I need to drag and drop an internal virtual link, put a short name, internal, type ELAN, and then link them to the VMs automatically. And so link the virtual link to the VMs will automatically create the internal connection points. Okay, so it's going to automate the creation of the connection point that is internal, because it's obvious that it needs an internal connection point in this case. So I will drag and drop the new network, which I will call internal. Don't forget to click once on each component, because if you click twice, it gets you to another form, which is the generic form of the DNS. There you go. I just put a name, a short name, and an ID. I'm saving. And now I'm going to click on internal virtual link, click shift, then click once, click shift, then left click over the destination. I'm sorry, over the destination. The destination is going to be the virtual machine. So again, click on the virtual link, it says virtual link, shift, and click left click over the VM. That's one. And now again, click on the virtual link, shift, and left click over the other VM, red, that's 2. So now we have 2 VMs connected through an internal network, and then exposing connection points to the network service. Perfect. That's what you would need. And then it says edit a descriptor to add the connection point in the management interface. Now, open source MANO needs to know which one is the management connection point. So I'm going to put it here in the descriptor under management interface, CP, VNF, and GMT, which is from the 2 connection points that are exposed to the external world, to the network service, VNF data and VNF management. I'm picking VNF management as the management connection point. Update and back to the graph. Final step, well, we are finished, actually. You should have this. There you go, we have the 2 VMs and everything. So we are finished with the VNF. So now we're going to the network service. The network service is built from 2 VNFs, which are the same VNF that we already created. But 2 of them, and the management connection point connects to a management network, and the data connection points connect to a data network. That's it. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to NS packages and compose a new network service. Compose a new network service. I'm going to give it a name. It's going to be multi-VDU NS in my case. Create. What's next? Well, the tools that you have are the same ones. Shift and left click for links, and just you can drag and drop virtual links and VNFs. So we're going to select 2 VNFs of the type that we already created. I have 5 VNFDs here. I'm going to drag and drop the one that corresponds to this exercise, which is multi-VDU. I'm going to do it twice because I want 2 copies. There we go. Just drag and drop, and then now create the virtual links, a management virtual link and a data virtual link, and I'm going to give them names. And in the case of the management one, I'm telling the descriptor to use existing Vim network name, which is OSM-X, which will give us management access because that is the reachable network. And in the other case, I'm not specifying any Vim network name, so the system is going to create it. Okay, I'm going to drag and drop 2 virtual links, 1, 2, and give them properties. So this is going to be, for me, OSM-X as a Vim network name. The name is going to be management net. It's going to be true as management network, telling the system that it's going to be used for management. Don't forget to do that because that's not relevant for this exercise, but when you use, when you operate the VNF, when you run charms over the VNF, you're going to see that tomorrow. OSM needs to know where to reach the virtual machine to manage it, to operate it. Okay. So I'm done with the management network. Clicking save, and then the data net is not going to have a Vim network name, so I'm going to delete that public info that says there. I'm going to give it a name of data net. Management network is false, and then data net is the ID as well as the name. Save. Or it needs to look just like here, slide 18. Now I'm going to link the virtual links with the VNFs through the connection points that we want to connect. Since the VNF could have more than one external connection point, I need to type in the name of the connection point I'm connecting. So I need to know what's the name of the connection point of the VNF to type it in. So I know that connection point is named VNF management and VNF data. So I'm going to type that in. So I'm connecting the management net, click shift, then go to a VDU and click left click, and put that the management net will connect to the connection point named VNF management. Okay. And then the same virtual link will connect to the other VDU using the same name of connection point. Because both VDUs or both VNFs are identical and both have a connection point named VNF management, right? Okay, and the other one, in a similar way, I click on the virtual link, shift, and then left click over the VNF. I'm connecting the VNF data connection point of the VNF to this virtual link. And same to the other one. So click on the virtual link, click on the virtual link until it says virtual link, then shift and left click over the VNF data. Great, what else? Final scenario should be like this. Let's see. Yes, we have 2 VNFs using their external connection points called VNF management to connect to the management net virtual link, and using the external connection points named VNF data to connect to the data network. Okay. So we are ready with a network service, and now we need to visit the catalog to see if they are deployed. There we go. There is the network service. If we access the descriptor, it looks fine. It has two VNFs named the same because it's the same VNF used twice. Then we have the VLDs. Like I said yesterday, in YAML, these dashes are the elements of a list. So we have two elements on the list of VLDs or virtual links descriptors. So we have two networks in the external part of the VNFs, the network service. The management network and the data network. And we have two members, two VNFs connected in each network with their respective connection points. Perfect. One of these networks is for management, one of these networks is not for management. And the VNF, multi-video VNF, it's described once but used twice by the network service. It has an internal VLD, so it's important that you know that this internal VLD maps as a real network at the beam level. I mean, the beam can't tell if this is an internal or external network. For the beam, it's the same. But since we're dealing with VNFs, OSM does know that this is an internal network. So this is going to be created as a regular network in OpenStack. That's what I want to say. Okay, so this we already saw. We have two interfaces per VDU, and one is external and the other one is internal. So the final multi-VDU picture, we already know, two VNFs, each with two VDUs, and connecting with internal virtual link, the VDUs, and connecting the VNFs with external virtual links. Okay, now we're going to deploy. And when deploying, I think we are ready. If we set the network, the Vim network name to OSM Ext, we don't need to do any further change. We just deploy it. That's what I'm going to do now. So network service, I'm going to put test, or I'm going to put multi-VDU 40 because that's the name of my tenant. A description, so I'm going to copy the same thing. And in the Vim, I'm going to put white cloud 40. Nothing else. Create. So in my OpenStack tenants, we should see the network service appear here. Let's switch to the network topology. It's creating already a VM. It's deploying. Let's wait a little bit. Okay, as you see here, if you see the network topology, we will have some 4 VMs. Okay, see, we have 4 VMs. 2 of them are the management VMs and have an interface in the management network, which we told OSM to put it in OSM Ext. Then those management VMs connect internally to the data VMs using internal networks. As you can see, the VM doesn't know if they are internal or not. OSM just created the network because there's another one which is supposed to be external, which is the data network. So here we're going to connect, for example, imagine that this is a service that needs to connect to a firewall through the data network. So I would use this one, this network here, and I would use the blue one for management. And the VNF itself would use the 2 internal networks here for internal communication between their components. Okay, so the networks in blue and in red are the external virtual links as defined and is the network service descriptor, and the networks in orange and in green are the internal virtual links as defined at the VNF descriptor. Still building. Okay, so most of them are active. I'm going to try to SSH to this one. SSH, I think the user is zeros and caps win is the password. Okay, I'm in. So I can manage it. And I'm going to SSH to the other one. Win. I'm in. Okay, I can manage it. From OSM, I can manage them because OSM is also in this blue network. If we want further control into the subnets that OSM creates, then we are talking about IP profiles. And that's the last slide of this section. The model of OSM allows us to use IP profiles for modifying the subnet parameters of the networks that are created. So there is more information in the user guide. You will see how to work with IP profiles. So you can put the name of the IP profile and refer the VL to that IP profile, and then you will force the OSM to create a subnet with specific parameters. For example, DHCP off, without a default gateway, with a specific subnet, with a specific IP addresses for the VDUs, and all those kind of stuff. And you can even force the MAC addresses of the VDUs if you want. That's advanced network modeling for OSM.